Yes, yes, praise be. Bitcoin has hit 30K and the crypto market is more excitable than the Easter Bunny after a chocolate egg binge. We haven't seen this level since June 2022, just before the collapse of Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and the rest of them. Sentiment is high, and of course, many are predicting that the bull market could be about to return. But what's caused this sudden price spike? Is it sustainable? And what could be next? Now, Bitcoin has, of course, been on something of a tear over the last few weeks, driven largely by the banking crisis in the United States and elsewhere. Bullish sentiment has been going into overdrive, peaking when Balaji Srinivasan famously bet just last month that Bitcoin would hit $1 million by mid-June. Well, still a bit of a way to go, but we're getting there, I suppose. Now, the banking crisis seems, for the time being at any rate, to be under control, and thoughts are now turning to what the next bit of bad news could be. Commercial real estate is worrying a lot of people, and there is, of course, plenty of speculation over what the Fed's next move on interest rates is likely to be. The consensus at the moment points to one more 25 basis point hike at the meeting next month, but many believe that Jerome Powell and co. could be about to pivot and start bringing interest rates down. Crypto, meanwhile, is in turmoil, with US regulators swinging punches like it's closing time in Southend on Saturday night, and Operation Choke Point 2 seeking to cut the industry off from the banking sector in the United States. In short, nobody knows what's going to happen, and in the midst of such uncertainty, a bet in either direction is always going to be highly speculative. But hey, speculation is what keeps the crypto market going, isn't it? And there are a good few reasons why willing buyers have pushed BTC above that magical 30K mark in the last few hours. The first relates to the difficulties the crypto industry is facing when it comes to banking services. Put simply, crypto market liquidity is pretty damn low at the moment. There isn't much money sloshing around because the collapse and closure of banks like Silvergate and Signature has made it much, much harder for big investors to get dollars into the market. Meanwhile, retail investors are also seeing fiat on and off ramps closed. This means lower trading volumes can move the market more easily, so only a few buyers are needed to push the price higher. So, low liquidity is one factor at play. Then there's also the fact that many believe the Fed is on the brink of, at the very least, pausing rate hikes at its meeting next month. Now, whether you're of that persuasion or not, we should all have a better idea tomorrow when the CPI data for March is published, along with the minutes of last month's Fed meeting. There's also the PPI data coming out on Thursday, as well as retail sales and consumer sentiment data on Friday. In other words, we're about to be hit with a whole load of numbers and get an insight into what the Fed officials are thinking. People are buying BTC because they reckon those numbers are going to be positive enough for a pause or even a pivot to be on the table. Again, enough buyers to move the price upwards. Now, I would argue that Jerome has been adamant that rates are going to stay high for a while, and thus those numbers will have to be absolutely spectacular for a pivot to even be considered. But, well, I suppose there's a decent enough chance of a pause. Remember, though, many thought the Fed would pause because of the banking crisis, and they still went ahead and hiked. And of course, when prices move dramatically in either direction, you can always rely on those leveraged traders who bet the wrong way to add fuel to the fire. In this case, BTC's sudden jump will have caused a short squeeze, whereby all those degens who bet that it would go lower will now be forced to buy or get liquidated. Extra buying pressure helps push the price up further, potentially liquidating yet more shorts, and so on. In sum then, Bitcoin has hit 30K simply because enough people are willing to buy it because they believe the economic outlook is beginning to brighten. Lower crypto market liquidity means their buys are enough to push the price higher and liquidate a few short positions into the bargain. The data coming out tomorrow and over the rest of the week is going to be vital, folks, so do keep a close eye out for it. Now, the big question is, of course, where will BTC's price go from here? Will 30K be a zone of support or resistance? Well, to answer that, I'm going to point you in the direction of our new channel, Coin Bureau Trading, where Dan explains the significance of the 30k level and which direction the markets could take from here. So, check it out, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.